Okay, so I'm starting the masking process and I wanted to get this, get it somewhat step by step. I took off the wheels. All the wheels are off. And the car's on jack stands. And so it's nice and low to the ground. So I'm going to tape it now to the floor so that it's all covered, and I leveled it out. And the car is actually low enough for me to actually reach it without getting on a step stool, which is what I wanted. I didn't want to reach over it with a step stool for fear of falling over and messing up the paint job. So since I'm tall, I can reach it all the way into the center, and I did make marks on where center would be on the roof, in the front and on the back, so that I can see how far my arm extends, and it extends far beyond that center mark. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then if you remember in past videos, I had painted this with the red, but because I am fearing that there might be a slight variance in tint coloration between last year's paint and this year's new mixed paint, I decided to sand it down. And I sanded it down with 320. I got rid of all the imperfections and I made it nice and flat. And then again in 500. And surprisingly, with all the sanding I did, and I did a lot of sanding, I never got to the base coat. I had enough material on this panel to actually block this panel out and still not reach the metallic red. So I'm pretty happy about that. That gives me a lot of confidence in the product that I'm using as far as clear. It was only 3 coats of clear, I believe, if I remember correctly. And with all the sanding I did, I still didn't hit red. So when I do 4 or 5 coats of clear on this bad boy, I hope that it will be as good as this one, so that I won't burn through when I'm doing the cut and buff. So I got the 2 panels ready. They're ready and set, and I'm setting up my workstation. After I mask it off, I'll give you a look-see. So here's the car, all masked to the floor. I'll give you a little tour. Basically the front, there's the front right there, masked to the floor. The skirt for the hood is masked to the radiator skirt. And over here, you can see the wheel well has been fully masked to the floor, and you can see the bolts sticking out. I'm going to put some more masking tape on to finish them off. There's the masking for the bottom, all the way across. Here's the rear wheel well, masked, and there's the bolts for the rear wheels. And then I got it masked all the way around here to the floor, and then the same thing on the other side. So there's that wheel well, there's rocker area, and then of course there's the front wheel well. So I shouldn't have any problem with overspray getting into my engine bay. So the cowl area, the paper has been masked to the cowl, so now it's nicely sealed. And check out the other side. So that's been masked, so it's nice and tight. And then of course this was the last thing I needed to mask off. So you can see it's masked off nice. I got it on the first try, so I'm pretty happy with that. So there's the masking. So I got to do it once over to make sure I got all the areas and that there's no holes in my masking. And then as for the front parts, they're pretty much ready to go right here. So that's the filler panel, front filler panel, the cowl panel, and then the 2 front filler panel extensions bolted down to a chair, a plastic chair, so they won't move. And it'd be easy, just spray them on there. So there's my workstation and there's my supply station. So I'm going to be using my gun here with the 1.4. Let's see if you can see that. You can see that 1.4. And so that's my gun. This cup is for the clear, this cup is for the red. If you've seen my past videos, I like to use this cup for the clear because it's Teflon coated, so it keeps it nice and clean, so I don't have to contaminate the clear. This is just plastic, so I just make sure it cleans up really nicely too, you know, with every use. Now this gun of course won't be used. Here's my mask all ready to go, and I got my cups here. I got my spout for the paint can, my air blower, a couple of extra fittings, because the fittings here are different. These are my fittings, and of course the shop's fittings are these automotive fittings. So I'm gonna have to change them out. I'm gonna be changing out my filter, so that's gonna be all nice and tight. I got my paper towels, a whole bunch of microfibers, and now I'm going to just give it a nice wipe down and then head off to bed because it's late. It took me almost 4 hours to do this masking, the finalizing. So a lot of hours. Get some sleep. Tomorrow morning, bright and early, start my painting. See you then. booth is awesome. Here's the red oxide Nova. The whole thing is covered in red oxide. So it came out pretty sweet, no runs. I just got to do those. I'm going to do them right now. And then I'm going to wait for the flash off and then start with the base. And we'll come back when we get to that point right there. Give you a once over look, see? Here's the temperature of the booth. And the humidity. So it's pretty good. So it's coming up pretty awesome so far. Really awesome. Looks awesome in red oxide. So I'm gonna put you down, get the other pieces painted, and get ready for the red. left to right, and then up and down, and then once again left and right. And I did that because I wanted to make sure that the metallics are, you know, kind of sporadic. I don't want any patterns to the metallic because this is a high metallic color. So I want to make sure that the metallics are not forming any patterns. I'm hoping that it'll work out that way, because that's how I did every single jam, every single piece that I painted prior to this car, and it looked all right. But since these are large panels, I'm hoping that will you know, kind of make the metallics, you know, kind of be all over the place. So it looks wonderful. Oh man, it looks gorgeous in red. Oh, I can't believe I got this far. But I'm gonna let this flash off a little bit, and then I'm gonna do one more coat. And I'm gonna go all the way down the car and all the way back, just so that I can make sure all the metallics go from panel to panel. And the tops I will do the same way as I've done, but I'm only going to do kind of like angles or sporadic. I'm not going to concentrate on coverage now because I know I have coverage. I just want to make sure that I make the metallics, you know, look good. So there it is. It's awesome, 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 awesome. I'm very happy so far. So next, I got to do the clear coat. And I'm going to do several coats of clear. You know, as I stated, 4 coats of clear. I have 3 gallons. I know that I have enough clear to be able to do multiple coats. So I'm just going to hammer it on and hope that I get the ultimate shine from this and be done with the painting. So when I start doing the clear, I'll turn the camera back on, and we'll see how she goes. So here it is. The Nova Reborn project has some color. It is now red, and I am so happy with the results. 4 coats of clear on this bad boy, and it definitely needs a cut and buff, but that's why I did the 4 coats, so I can do that. Came out really nice. And the body work that I did, like on the quarter panel, look at that, beautiful. I'm very happy with the body work I did. And then the other quarter panels were my main concern because they were such large panels and they were the bulk of the work. Look at that, reflection is nice and straight. So it's beautiful. There's the back. The roof came out sweet. The cowl hood, sweet. Definitely happy with it. Here's a cowl panel, came out beautiful. And the other panel there, the filler panel, front filler panel, came out beautiful. And these are the filler panel extensions that came out beautiful as well. So there it is. The Nova is now reborn. So I used 2 gallons of clear. There's hardly nothing left in here. So I get to take back this gallon and this hardener and get some money back. So I did use 1 full gallon of paint. So you know, that definitely, you know, I'm happy with, you know, with the purchase, and I still got a quart left and a little bit left as far as reserves. I'll show you right here. And I love, you can see, I love to have reserves for touch-up and, you know, various things. So that's already pre-mixed and ready for me to use. So there it is. When this dries, I get to rip the masking off and put my rims on. I'm so happy. No more old tires. I get to put my rims, my brand new rims, because the Nova now needs the brand new rims. So I'm definitely very happy. I've been here since 8 o'clock this morning. It's now 5:30. It's a good day, very good day. Everything came out beautiful. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.